this video, we're going to go to a couple of the island's wineries, and we'll also visit Perry's Monument. Sit back and watch some of our island adventures. And I think we're going to start with the Crystal Cave tour and the Heineman's Winery. And the cost of both tours, the package was $12. We got both. So the Crystal Cave and the Heineman's Winery are basically in the same building. The tour is kind of like going down into one giant geode. And we talked to a lot of people who had been there and enjoyed it. It would have been nice if there was 5 or 6 people in our tour, but we ended up having I think it was something like 18 or 20 people, and it was just shoulder to shoulder and wasn't as enjoyable as I think it could have been. And the total tour really only lasted about 8 or 10 minutes, and we were there for the winery tour anyway, so let's head straight to the winery tour.
Hands to yourself, don't touch any equipment, machines, boxes, labels, anything may happen.
The Heinemann Winery was founded in 1888 by Gustav Heinemann, an immigrant from Baden-Baden, Germany.
This is Ohio's oldest family-owned and operated winery. We're in our 4th and 5th generation of winemakers here. Ed Heinemann is our head winemaker, and his son Dustin runs daily operations.
And the tour went through the entire winemaking process. It's pretty cool. It's always enjoyable seeing the very small variations from one winery to another.
Wine and grape juice. We produce about 30,000 gallons of wine per year and about 10,000 gallons of grape juice. If we are making grape juice, all that we add to that is something called...
And today, 3rd, 4th, and 5th generation Heinemanns, Louis, Edward, and Dustin, share the family winemaking business. The Heinemanns and other local growers cultivate about 50 acres of grapes on South Bass Island. This gives the winery a wine-to-vine quality control year after year. And the native grapes that are grown on South Bass Island are Concord and Catawba.
They create a siphon against which these bottles will be pressure fed and filled by eye just like that. So they did tell me that back in the day, if you accidentally overfilled one of those bad boys, just took a little off the top. We do not do that anymore. I swear. Helping hands. There's going to be one of us on this side of the machine loading empty bottles onto this side of the conveyor belt. We call those blanks. Those then continue to these raising and lowering pedestals up to one of 12 spigots. That bucket up top is still gravity fed just like that old machine, but the nozzles there are hydraulically operated, so we're going to get the perfect pour into that.
I think I need the job of working in the lab and testing the wine every day. And at the close of the tour, he lined up all the bottles and the variations that they produce there at Heinemann Winery. And then, of course, they let you out into the gift shop. And we went right over to their setup bar where we had to test several different variations. And then, of course, eventually bought a bottle to take home. I think Debbie got stopped. Somebody's asking about our e-bikes. A lot of people always wanting to know about our electric e-bikes. We love them, but we also love telling people about them. And from there, we made our way over to Perry's Victory Monument. It's Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial is what it's actually called. It was established to honor those who fought in the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812, and also to celebrate the long-lasting peace among Great Britain, Canada, and the United States. Inside the Welcome Center, you'll find a gift shop, a nice museum with a lot of history, and I think there's even a little movie theater that plays about a 20-minute film every hour, I think. And we got our National Parks book stamped there, and also to buy my senior lifetime card for the America the Beautiful Pass. So that was pretty cool. And your America the Beautiful Pass gets you free access to the top of Perry's Monument. These people had to wait in line. And the adult passes cost $7 a piece to go up in there. And that showed to be about a $14 savings for us because we had our pass. And then we headed out of the Welcome Center and headed over to the monument to go up to the top.
For sure ticket. I got so many people get up there and then have to come back.
Yeah.
The monument is 352 feet above Lake Erie level, like sea level, or Lake Erie level, I guess you'd call it. And being located on South Bass Island makes it just 5 miles from the longest undefended border in the world.
We just ask that you don't.
Okay.
All right. You're good to go. It's 37 steps up to the elevator landing, and our rangers operate the elevator up there.
And after the 37 steps, the elevator ride was only about a minute and a half.
Well, I made it up here, and it's not that scary. It's got a nice big surface area, and it's all solid and not. So I don't do well with heights. Pelee Island is huge in comparison to these others.
Yeah.
You can barely see. There's the Jet Express coming around to the Put-in-Bay.
The park we rode to yesterday, the
Oh yeah,
smallest
it's
park.
that little one. You see the little, what do they call that?
Oak Harbor.
Oak
Yeah.
Harbor State Park.
Oh yeah, where the building
Yep,
is.
the little building is right there.
Like to sail around together.
And the day we were there were 2 different state park rangers posted at the top just to point out points of interest to all the visitors.
There is Canada. So that's
Teeny tiny one right there.
that's actually closer to us than Pelee then.
Yeah, the border's about 5 miles.
That small one I want to say is Hen, and then to the left I think is East Sister.
And are they Canadian or?
Yes.
Oh, both of those are Canadian.
So it's on the other side of there that they have Fort Walden that has cannons pointed at us. Still
Oh,
to the day. Or last week, let's put it that way.
Well, we have our carronade here and muskets ready to go.
I told them about the muskets, yes.
Yeah.
But that's on Friday, right?
Yes, on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we try to do our black powder demos.
Okay.
And about once a month, we do the carronade.
Okay.
It's Kelly's Island.
Oh, that's
Kelly.
Kelly's.
Kelly's.
Okay.
I think you can actually see the Jet Express
Oh, going
making
over.
its way over there.
This is cool. It does gives you a whole different perspective of the lay of the property.
Totally didn't get it.
There are a lot more islands up here in the area than really that show on any maps. And while we were there seems to be a lot of construction around the base of Perry's Monument, the outer skirts. Looks like they're rebuilding the seawall on the north side. Looks like the seawall to the south side had been rebuilt maybe the year or the last summer. I don't know. And after we completed the monument tour, we had some time to kill before our taxi over to Middle Bass Island, so we hit up another area winery. The Put-in-Bay Winery sits just off of the downtown Put-in-Bay area, right across the street from the harbor there at Put-in Bay. We didn't do the tour. We just sat out front and had a couple glasses of wine. After that, we headed over to the boardwalk to hopefully catch our ferry.
John's Pass in Florida, remember?
PutInBayFloatingTiki.com. That's pretty cool. And here comes our taxi in for our 12 o'clock trip out to Middle Bass Island. So it appears as though the boat's name is the Sunny S. And we'll get on board and see how that goes. And it's $10 per person and $5 for the bikes. So should be $30 each way.
You get a lot of distance out of those bikes?
22 miles per charge, so. Are we allowed to sit on here?
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably a good idea if you do, so that way you kind of keep a hand on it. 'Cause I just got the stand on.
Yeah.
Swing the stern in already.
Kind of surprised there wasn't a little spiel.
Like you're going to Middle Bass Island?
Yeah, use the one and only life preserver this month.
We unloaded the bikes, and first stop, or the first pass by, was the remnants of the Lons Winery. There was a very cool history of the Lons Winery. It actually was built in 1864, and then by 1866, it became the largest winery in the country. The winery burned down in 1942, but they rebuilt, and for nearly 60 years, the winery continued to accommodate the boaters and tourists alike. But after the tragic collapse of the terrace in July of 2000, the state of Ohio purchased the 124 acres on Middle Bass Island and made it a state park.
I wonder if this is where the balcony fell off on this side.
We rode the e-bikes around the island a little bit.
I'm thinking it's not a loop. Doesn't appear to be connected.
Gives me the willies. Okay, we gotta find something to eat. What did he say?
The general store had good pizza.
What?
He said
no,
that.
and then the guy upstairs said.
And we were hungry, and we were there on a Monday, and the only full restaurant open on Middle Bass Island on Mondays was Hazard's. So we headed there.
I think the entrance is on the back side. Or, I don't know. Or not. No. Here we go. Thank you.
By the pool and the hot tub, enjoy yourself.
No.
Okay, it's easiest if you go to the bar.
Okay.
But wherever you want to go is fine.
Cool.
Okay.
I think I want to sit at a table though when we go.
Yeah, we can.
Not really.
Well, let's place our order here first.
And I don't remember what they called this drink. It was their special, but those were big tubs, and one was about all you could handle. The food was pretty good from what I remember. We had like chicken quesadillas, and honestly, I think it was about the best food we had the entire trip. And so after that lunch, we got back on the e-bikes and continued the tour of the island.
This is a view of the Perry's Monument from Middle Bass. That, but it's for sale.
I like it. Look at the view.
Cool.
I can work right there. See that all
You
day.
want to own a piece of Middle Bass Island? There you go. And looking straight across the street, that would be South Bass Island, looking south from Middle Bass. And over there, find it here, would be Kelley's Island, Cedar Point, Marblehead. I'm not sure what that little island is. And then, of course, Perry's Monument. Again, we're on Middle Bass Island, so if you're looking and see the island north of us would be North Bass Island, across the water there.
And on the way back to catch the boat taxi to Put-in-Bay, we stopped at the state park again and wanted to put our feet in the water. The water seemed a lot clearer here than it did just over at South Bass. I probably shouldn't have gone barefoot after seeing all the critters down here.
And that would be Perry's Monument, again from Middle Bass Island, looking south to South Bass Island, Put-in-Bay there to the right, and the big Perry's Monument that we were just in earlier today.
And so on the way back to catch the water taxi back to Put-in-Bay, we stopped by the Lon's Winery area again, and there was a little coffee shop there that we wanted to check out. The name of the coffee shop was called the Island Grind. And like any coffee shop, they also had bagels and muffins and things like that. But what was the nice surprise?
The Island Grand Coffee Shop also has a little bar or speakeasy as part of it. Pretty cool.
And so the remnants of the old Lon's Winery, which is now Middle Bass Island State Park, Looks like could very easily be a wedding venue or some big event venue. And it's pretty cool just to stroll around and check it out. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Do all the things to help keep connected to all of our adventures. So our two big takeaways from this trip was Hazard's restaurant was really cool, and then the Grind coffee shop with the speakeasy. So if you ever make it to Middle Bass Island, those are a couple of must-sees.
And if you look through the trees, here comes our boat. We've got to get down there and catch the boat, head back to South Bass and Put-in Bay.
The Lawns Winery, once called the Golden Eagle Winery, was expanded to include a dance pavilion, which was located over the top of the cellar. And the next owner added a 60-room hotel called the Hillcrest. Peter Lawns then purchased the complex in 1926. There's a really cool history here. It's definitely someplace you want to hit up if you get out to Put-in Bay. It's worth the money and the time to take the taxi out to the Middle Bass Island.
The seats are all yours.
But you definitely want to bring a bicycle of some sort. There is no bike rentals or golf cart rentals on the island.
And we made the boat back. We'll pick up back on Put-in Bay and South Bass Island. We'll see you in just a little bit.
And the day wasn't over. We still had one more adventure to seek out. And this time we headed to the east side of the island. And we are off looking for the Massey Cliffside Preserve.
And here we are, 1,750 feet walking. We'll see. So, that one was an old trail or what? Oh, sweet!
We're on the trail.
We are.
And Debbie's All Trails app on her phone saves the day again.
The one in the shade down there. This one's better. Okay.
Big catamaran pulling a little dinghy. I don't know if that's going with the winds or gone with the winds.
No, they don't have their boat yet. They're gone with the wind.
They're gone.
I can't find it.
Oh, well, I see it, but I don't.
Pictures and see if I get it. I do not see
I'm videoing it and I see him. He's just scooching right along. He's actually coming kind of towards us a little bit.
my God, he's long.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Then we got back to our campsite at South Bath State Park campground and decided to cook up some salmon, potatoes, and onions. And that was going to be our supper for tonight. Plus, we'll probably tap into that bottle of wine we got at the Heineman's Winery earlier today.
We're having.
All right, so this one got a little long. I'm going to wrap it up here and call it one for the books. Hope you enjoyed our Island Adventures Part 2 on South Bass and Middle Bass Island. And as always, and until next time, cheers, everybody.
I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see from up here.